March is soon coming to a close. With that comes the month of April. Today we will be discussing sneakers to resell in the month of April. If you're not into reselling, that is okay as well. You could use this guide to know what are going to be the most hype sneakers, the most limited, or even what popular general releases may potentially go on sale because hey, we're all trying to save some money. Specifically, we'll be discussing the name of the sneaker, the retail, the release date, and whether the sneaker will be profitable or not, or if they may even potentially sit on shelves, resulting in a sale price. Be sure to subscribe and enable post notifications. This way you stay 100% updated on all these profitable releases. Also, be sure to follow my Twitter for urgent updates and info, KeithAdam10, and also personals for you, such as the recent shock drops and exclusive access drops we have been seeing. Buckle up because April is looking to be another incredible month. Kicking it off with April 1st for $110, we have the delayed Dunk Low Halloween finally dropping in the US, while Europe has already released these. Despite it not being anywhere near Halloween, these still carry very notable demand, allowing these to remain very profitable with a very good margin. Next up, also on April 1st for $130, the delayed Air Force One Halloween will be dropping. Unfortunately, these do not carry the same caliber demand as the Dunks do. At best, you can make a little bit of lunch money with a poor margin in the very large sizes if you have no tax. Otherwise, they're mostly just personals. Also on the 1st, we have the delayed Dunk High Cargo Khaki dropping in the US for $110, while they already did drop in Europe not too long ago. Demand on these is not as high as we have seen on other Dunk Highs, but it does appear there is still room for profit with a decent margin, specifically on the larger sizes, the bigger of which being the better. Also on the 1st for $150 each, we have 3 colorways of the New Balance 2002R Protection Pack dropping. This includes the Mirage Gray, Vintage Orange, and Dark Navy. Based on how the prior colorways have performed of these, I am expecting all of these to be profitable. Specifically, I'd expect the gray and navy pair to outperform the orange one, but I'd expect all of them to at least be profitable with a good margin and hopefully more. Also on the 1st for $190, we may potentially see the Jordan 6 Midnight Navy drop at a couple of retailers, since some, including Jimmy Jazz, do have them loaded. However, I do expect that most likely these pages will be removed soon. In the hypothetical case that some retailers do drop early though, I would expect these to be profitable with a good margin, assuming you quick sell them before the main drop occurs. In addition to many more hyped releases this month, I also have some incredible news for those of you who have been patiently waiting. If you're looking to take your reselling game to the next level, whether it be through sneakers, clothing, PS5, GPUs, sports cards, artwork, NFTs, Funkos, concert tickets, and much more, then you're in luck. Endurance will finally be having a limited restock on April 3rd, Sunday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. CET via the Endurance Twitter. Stressed about copying from Nike sneakers shock drops, stashes, and scratchers? Don't worry, Endurance has your back, just like it has for the past 4 years of providing early information with exact times, dates, drop methods, and even free custom-coded spoofers for members to ensure everyone's able to cop with ease. Don't take it from me though, the success really does speak for itself, such as the 300 pairs and well over $500,000 in cumulative profit on the MCA Air Force One, in addition to the recent ICA Air Force One sneaker stash as well. Furthermore, in addition to numerous free software programs and Chrome extensions to help you cop manually, such as our free auto checkout extension that supports numerous sites, or even our Q tool to help pass any type of waiting room, we're also always innovating to find bypasses and exploits on new sites for our members, such as our recent cookouts from our QIT bypass links for Snipes, New Balance, and much more. Or how about the early new domain links on Shopify drops? If there's an advantage to be had, rest assured, Endurance will find it first. I could really spend all day listing every single feature from retail plugs in numerous stores to custom monitors and early link, but instead, I'll let you check out the Endurance website and Twitter yourself, link in the description below. Besides, the success and members themselves quite literally speak for themselves. So remember, the limited Endurance restock will take place on April 3rd, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. CET via the Endurance Twitter. And lastly, for the 1st, we will see a couple of delayed retailers drop the Uptempo alternate split for $160. These are personals only. In fact, you should be able to get smaller sizes of these if you want a personal for under retail in the secondary market or even via sales. Moving on to the 2nd for $200, the Jordan 1 85 cut Georgetown will finally be dropping. Expect these to be profitable with a good margin, larger sizes of which being the best. Then on the 5th in the US, the Jordan 1 Low Marina Blue will be dropping for $100. $125. With the retail being so low, even with subpar demand, there still should be sufficient room for lunch money profit with a subpar to decent margin depending on the size. Also, on the 5th in the US for $110, the Jordan 1 Low Sherpa Fleece Women's will be dropping, although unfortunately, these seem to be personals only. In fact, you may be able to find these for below retail in the secondary market after the drop. Also, on the 5th, we may potentially be seeing the Polaroid and Nike SB Dunk Low release for $110, and if not on the 5th, they should still be releasing sometime in April. It just might be a little later. I'll keep you guys updated, but either way, expect these to be very profitable with an incredible margin when they do end up releasing. Then on April 6th for $120, the Dunk High Ring Bling will be dropping. At best, only large sizes 11 and up have potential for lunch money with a poor margin. Otherwise, these are mostly personals. Unfortunately, demand just really isn't great on these. Then on April 7th for $125, the Dunk High Vintage Black Women's will be dropping. These are pretty much the same thing as Pandas, very minor differences, but either way, expect these to be profitable with a very good margin, largest sizes of which being the best. Also on the 7th for $110, the Dunk Low Disrupt 2 will be dropping. At best, only large sizes 11 and up have potential for lunch money with a poor margin. Otherwise, these are also mostly personals. And lastly, for the 7th, the Dunk High Court Purple should be dropping at a couple of retailers for $110. These should hold up for lunch money with a decent margin, larger sizes of which being the best. Then on the 8th, we have a pretty big day. First, we have the Jordan 2 Union finally dropping for $225. Despite the high retail on these, since this is a Union Jordan collab, these should still have sufficient demand for profitability with a decent to good margin, although I don't expect them to perform as well as the Dunks or the Jordan 4s, of course. Regardless, this is still certainly a drop to look forward to. Also on the 8th for $140, two off-white Blazer Lows should be dropping in both black and also white. Although Blazer Lows typically have very poor demand, even the Sakai Blazer Lows bricked, since this is an off-white collab, there should still be sufficient room for profitability with a good margin, perhaps not as high as prior releases though. Also on the 8th for $100, the Jordan 1 Low Football Gray Women's will be dropping. All sizes should be profitable with a decent to good margin, with large sizes of which being the best on these. Also on the 8th for $110, we may potentially be seeing the Dunk High Pink Prime. Now I say potentially because only Finish Line and JD Sports have them loaded on their calendar, and those calendars are often late to update, so whenever they do end up dropping, they should still be profitable with a decent to good margin. And lastly, for the 8th for $135, the Jordan 1 Mid USA will be dropping. While pre-sale on these looks pretty good, at best I'm only expecting these to hold up for lunch money with a poor margin, larger size of which being the best. Then on the 9th for $190, the Jordan 5 Jade Horizon will be dropping. Unfortunately, these are mostly just personals unless you do happen to have local buyers. Moving on to the 15th for $110, the Dunk Low Fossil Rose will be dropping. On the other hand, with these, they should be very profitable with a very good margin, largest size of which being the best. Then on the 16th for $90, the Yeezy Foamrunner Sulfur will be dropping. I'd expect these to perform very similar to other recent foam runners we've seen. Nothing very different here, hence they should be very profitable with a great margin thanks to that low retail. Also on the 16th, the Jordan 7 Sapphire will be dropping in the US for $210. Unfortunately, these are mostly just personals as well, unless you do happen to have local buyers already. Then on the 27th, the Jordan 1 Mid Armor Navy should be dropping for $115. There should be some lunch money to still be made off these with a poor margin when they release, nothing too notable though. Then on the 28th, the Jordan 11 Low Pure Violet should be dropping for $190. At best, I'm only expecting lunch money with a poor margin on large size if you don't have tax in your state. Otherwise, these will most likely just be personals. Then on the 29th for $225, the A Ma Maniere Jordan 2 will be dropping. Although I don't expect these to perform as well as the Union 2s, I still would expect these to be profitable with a decent margin, but certainly not as good as the 1s or the 3s for the A Ma Maniere collabs that we've already seen. Regardless, this should still be a good drop to look forward to with some easy money, and it's going to be a fun new domain drop most likely. Then on the 30th, Jordan 13 Brave Blue will be releasing for $200. Unless you do have local buyers, I'd say these will most likely be just personals, unfortunately. And finally, the Yeezy 450 Sulfur should be dropping for $200 sometime in April, although there is no precise date just yet. Whenever they do end up dropping, I'm not expecting them to be profitable at the moment based off of how recent 450s have been performing, which unfortunately has not been great. Unless stock is abnormally low, unfortunately I'm expecting these to just be mostly personals. singles. We'll see what happens though. I'll keep you guys updated on all these. But anyway, that will conclude it. As you can see, we have a great month ahead of already, and many more as usual will pop up as we go through it. So make sure you are subscribed and enable post notifications. This way you're always 100% updated on that. Remember that the limited endurance restock will take place on April 3rd, Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. CET via the Endurance Twitter. Like if you enjoyed, or perhaps if you learned a thing or two. Also, be free to check out the links in the description below for reliable, fast, residential proxies and pre-verified Nike sneakers or Adidas accounts. Also, be free to follow Gargantua AIO on Twitter for updates on restocks. And last but not least, make sure to follow Keith Adam 10 and Personals for you on Twitter. This way you guys stay updated on all urgent info like I was discussing today. With that though, I will see you guys later. Have a fantastic rest of your day, and of course, good luck on all these upcoming releases.